It's Saturday, July 26, 2025. Thanks for tuning in today. A few articles I was reading this morning I want to share with you. I want to get your thoughts on it, so please comment down below. The first one, if the Epstein Files are fully released, they'll expose U.S. presidents, royals, billionaires, and global puppet masters in a truly diabolical way, and the elites will turn against one another. What are your thoughts on this? This is a story that will not go away. Now people believe that maybe our president was involved because he's in the files. Personally, he may be in the files. A lot of people are in the files. But I don't really believe he was involved with any criminality with Epstein. Just because you're in the files doesn't mean you're a criminal. Just because you went on the airplane doesn't mean you're a criminal. But there are lots of people that are criminally tied to Jeffrey Epstein, and we need to find out who they are. Now, let me also be very upfront. If evidence does come out that our current president was involved criminally with Jeffrey Epstein, then he needs to be prosecuted, punished, and I will lose all respect. Right now, I don't think he's criminally tied. There'll be a lot of people in these files that are not criminally tied, but there are going to be a lot of people that are, just like this says, U.S. presidents. And I think we know one of them for sure who'd been on Jeffrey's plane many, many times, royals, billionaires, and global puppet masters. Ghislaine Maxwell just mentioned 100 names. How many of those names were criminally tied, did very, very bad things? I don't know. But she knows where the bodies are buried. She knows the secrets. She knows who the players are. And this is going to get very, very interesting, and we must see justice. These are power players. These are people that can start wars. These are people that have billions of dollars. These are people who can manipulate and persuade politicians and the direction a country is going in. This has got to come to an end, or I believe America is done. People will say, you know, why are we worried about this? We should be very, very worried about it, because when you have people doing things like this with this much power, it is absolutely demonic. This nation will be cursed if we allow this to continue and these people are not brought to justice, my opinion. But what are your thoughts on this? Also, if some of these people are brought to justice from America or other countries, this is going to change, I believe, basically the political landscape across the world. I mean, imagine if there's video evidence of presidents or people in power or royals, billionaires, people that were highly respected, people with lots of power, people with lots of influence, people who can get people elected or not elected, people who can start wars, people who, again, who have lots and lots of power. And what would the world think if they saw some of the most respected people, people that you and I may respect right now, if those people were linked to this and there's solid evidence, video evidence of the crimes they committed? The world definitely will change. No doubt about it. This will have huge global implications if some of these people are brought to the light, brought to justice. And it's a reminder that we shouldn't worship people because we have no idea what they're really doing behind the scenes. But there are going to be some people that are going to be brought out of this, possibly, if we ever get to the bottom of this, and people are going to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe what this person did. I can't believe they were involved. They have video evidence, hours and hours of video evidence. They'll bring in witnesses. But will it ever get that far? That's the next question. Will it ever get that far? I don't know. I think it's up to all of us to keep demanding that these files come to the forefront and that people are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, no matter who they are. Here's another one today. Dollar reserves hit 47%. Record low as China drives de-dollarization. China's de-dollarization has actually reached unprecedented levels in 2025. Global dollar reserves are now collapsing. Why do you think gold continues to go up? US dollar index has crashed 11% in the first half of 2025. This is interesting. 80% of central banks express serious concerns over US political developments. And I think that when you see these investigations, you see the Epstein investigation, the world's getting a little bit worried about what's happening here in America on top of the $37+ trillion of debt, 200 trillion if you include unfunded liabilities. They're getting very, very worried. The mass amount of printing. And so this is why more central banks in the next 12 to 24 months are going to continue to stockpile physical gold. I will continue to do the same thing. I hope that all of you are preparing for the same thing. I'm just taking a page out of the central banks and doing what they're doing. They see uncertainty. They see political uncertainty. They see war. They see chaos. They see this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing where people from all over the globe could be connected. Some people could be charged. We don't know. But it's not good. It is not good. Too many people now are demanding answers. And so with all this chaos, all this uncertainty, it is putting more pressure on the US dollar. And gold is going to continue to go up. If you need gold, if you need silver, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Been dealing personally with SD Bullion for almost 7 years now. Reputable, very competitive prices, hard to beat. You'll get your gold and silver very, very quickly. Great service. I can't say enough about them. If you need help, go to my link down below or call them and tell them I sent you. If you're looking for gold or silver or you need more and you need a reputable place you can trust, go to SD Bullion. So again, how are you preparing for the global de-dollarization that we're seeing now? And the BRICS is gaining power. The BRICS is gaining more attention. The BRICS are not going away. They're only going to get bigger and stronger. And when they see the weaponization, as they have seen for decades, of the US dollar, what do you think the world is going to do? They are going to do everything to dump US dollars. They're buying gold. They're going to use other currencies. They're going to use other financial systems. They are going to get out of the SWIFT system. They're going to get out of the dollar the best that they can. And they're going to other options like gold. And the BRICS, look, I think they're going to use many, many currencies, and these currencies will be partially backed by gold. We'll see how it all plays out. But right now, the dollar is in trouble. And I think you do have to have dollars put away too. But remember, think about how much purchasing power you're going to lose in those dollars. If you're holding a decent amount of cash, is it safer to hold it in gold, or is it just safer to let it sit in a bank, earn basically nothing, or it's sitting in your vault, or you're safe earning nothing? It's under your mattress earning nothing. I would really think about holding some gold. These are very, very treacherous times. Daily Mail, tech giant stuns Wall Street with 25,000 layoffs as job crisis deepens. Intel is going to slash 25,000 jobs in 2025 to turn around its flagging fortunes. What are all these people going to do for a job? Where do all these people go? And we keep hearing that the housing market's fine, the economy's fine, the consumer's fine. Somebody's lying, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody is lying. And somebody's going to be proven right, and somebody's going to be proven wrong. And I hope that you're really thinking for yourselves, not believing everything that you're reading, not believing everything that you're watching on television. All you have to do is take a look around at what's going on in the world, let alone right here in the United States of America. 25,000 more jobs slashed. Sam Altman says OpenAI is poised to wipe out entire categories of human jobs. They will be just like totally gone, he says. This is coming. What does the job market look like in the next 5 to 10 years? We have people from all over the world here competing for jobs. Now AI will be competing for your job. And we have so many people now who have made fast food a career. And how many of these fast food jobs are going to disappear now because of AI? People have made warehousing a career job. This is what's happening. This is what's happening in America. This has been happening for a long time now. But When you look at fast food and you look at a lot of leisure and hospitality jobs, a lot of this was for retirees, it was for high school kids, it was for college kids, it was for people that just wanted a part-time job. Now, these are careers. People depend on these jobs to pay for their rent, to pay their utilities, pay their essentials. These jobs are going to disappear, ladies and gentlemen. In the next 5 years, it's going to make your head spin with how many jobs are going to disappear because of AI. And we have tens of millions of people in this country from wherever. We don't even really know who they are, but they're competing for jobs. And so you're going to be competing against these people. You'll be competing against AI. You will be competing against a struggling, collapsing economy also. This economy continues to collapse. We're hearing some good news, and I love to be optimistic. Optimism is good, but we don't have the factories being built right now. These jobs that were promised are not here yet, and that doesn't mean I don't support the administration and I don't wish them success. Of course I do. I don't care who the president is. I wish any president here in America success because I don't want to see America fail. And look, this administration is trying to do some things. Some things they're doing I don't agree with, but how long is it going to take to get those jobs over here? How long is it going to take to build those factories? How long will it take to turn things around? And we all know it's going to be impossible to pay this debt down. How are we going to keep up with just the interest on the debt at this point? Comment down below. I don't have the answers. I really don't. I'm reporting this. The only thing I can do is prepare the best that I can. For me, that's gold, silver, barterable items, food, water, skills, and walking close to God. Other than that, I don't know what more you can really do. Know how to do things so that you're not one-dimensional, you're multi-dimensional, that if you lose a job today, maybe you can find a job tomorrow because you have skill sets. But millions of people are about ready to lose their jobs in the next couple of years just with AI. But this economy continues to struggle. And companies, especially corporate America, they're looking at the bottom line. They're looking at the margin. And if they have to cut 25,000 jobs today, they'll do it. Take a look at what's happening in trucking. Take a look at what's happening in tech. Take a look at what's happening in real estate. If you're a real estate agent, are you making a lot of money this year? Maybe you're 1 in a million. But last year, 71% of realtors in this nation did 0 deals. This year, the real estate market is doing just as bad as it was last year, and it will probably end up being even worse. Single-family home sales dropped below 1995 supply, highest since 2016. Condo sales at low in the data. Supply at housing bust level. After the price explosion comes the hangover. And now here's the hangover. Nobody can sell their house. Everybody can brag that they have $1 million house, but they can't sell it. And so we're going to continue to have this frozen, stagnant housing market. And at some point, I keep hearing, I do have to say this, I keep hearing that, gosh, we got to get mortgage rates down. We got to get mortgage rates lower, drop interest rates, all this, blah, blah, blah. How about we get prices to come down? How about we just stop talking about all the cheap money, which got us into this trouble, which created this problem when people could go out and get a 2.5% mortgage. They were buying homes they couldn't afford, and now this has caused a massive bubble. These people are stuck in these homes. We had the FOMO the last few years, and now we have a disaster on our hands because people are upside down in their homes. They can't leave because they have a 2.65% mortgage. What's going to happen as the job losses continue to pile up? People can't afford a 2.5–3% mortgage when they don't have a job, and they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to move, and people are going to find out that they overpaid on these homes. And people, continue to tell me that 2008 can never happen. That this will be a slowdown, but we'll get through it and it'll be fine. Do you really think that the housing market is going to continue? That prices are going to continue to go up without sales continuing to plummet? You don't really have a market if you don't have sales. And we have a market now where there's very, very few sales. And about 14, 15, 16% of homes that are in escrow last month and the month before fell out of escrow. And what happens when banks tighten up? What happens when the job losses continue to pile up, the economy continues to slow down, and you don't get mortgage rates back to 3%? They're not going to 3%. Okay, maybe they go to 5.5%. Is that really going to ignite the housing market? I don't think so. Here's another one today. Newly built homes are cheaper than previously owned homes as builders ramp up price cuts. The builders are smart. They're cutting prices. They're buying down mortgages. They're saying zero money down. They'll put in a swimming pool. They'll put in the granite countertops. They'll do whatever they have to do to move houses. The home seller is not very savvy, and they're still sitting out there thinking that they're going to get 21, 22 prices, and they're just not. It's not going to happen, and they're going to continue to lose money, and they're going to get their clocks cleaned, and rightfully so. They deserve it because they're greedy. I've seen too many homes in this market going back to 2020 prices to where we're at right now, and seeing homes up 40, 50, 70% makes no sense whatsoever. Those days are over. Daily Mail, warning to thousands of Americans, there's more than 300 hospitals at risk of closure. Check your nearest. Is it in danger? This is another example of where is America first? Why are we not seeing America first? 300 hospitals at risk of closure, yet we are still sending money to Ukraine. We are still sending money to the Middle East. We are still financing wars. And yet we're talking about the closure, possibly of 300 rural hospitals in America. Let me tell you, a lot of them were Louisiana, and a lot of them were actually in California. So the American people will continue to suffer as they pay higher taxes, have to work till they die, working paycheck to paycheck, falling behind, becoming debt slaves in America. And now their hospitals are going to disappear. Their pharmacies are disappearing. Their stores are disappearing. Their quality of life is disappearing here in America. We are really watching the empire crumble. And it is really, really sad, because I did see America at some very, very good times in my lifetime. But you could see over the last couple decades the direction we were going in, and it just continuing to get worse and worse. But it's always a little bit more. So it doesn't happen overnight. Just like people would write me years ago, where's the collapse? When's the collapse going to happen? They don't write me anymore. They don't write me because now they realize that they're in the collapse. They realize that they're in trouble. And they didn't even realize what was happening, because at the time they were doing okay. They were paying their bills. They had a nice little job. And then all of a sudden, maybe the spouse lost a job. Oh, health insurance went up. Oh, auto insurance went up. Oh, boy, look at the grocery store prices. Our car insurance went up. Our HOA went up. Everything started just going up a little bit. And before you know it, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And so here we are today. Now we're in big trouble. And people didn't see it coming, because it just was a little bit, death by 1,000 cuts. And there's still people out there that don't see what's happening, but eventually they will. But now a lot more people see. There's a lot less people writing me, asking me where the collapse is, because, well, they've probably been evicted. They probably had to take on 3 jobs. Maybe they had to sell their house. Maybe they can't buy a house. Maybe their car has been repossessed. Maybe, they're eating rice and beans every night now. Their whole life has changed. Or they have 4 roommates, or they had to move back home, etc. Maybe some of them are homeless. They used to laugh at the homeless people. Now nobody laughs at the homeless. So nobody's laughing about the collapse. Nobody's laughing about the homeless. Nobody's laughing about any of this stuff now, because it's affecting nearly everybody. 10% of this country, it's probably not affecting. They're doing fine. They're doing wonderful. But for the majority of Americans, they're feeling it now. They know something's wrong. And so they're getting very, very worried. And I'm going to continue to make these videos just to keep everybody awake and remind you and reiterate to all of you that this is not getting better anytime soon. So you can ignore it, and you can be a victim of it, or you take action and you prepare, because if you think it's bad now, it's going to get worse. And you need to make sure you're protecting your assets, your family, yourself, because I think it's going to get very, very bumpy here very, very soon. I've never seen so many homeless. I've never seen so much debt. I've never seen so much propaganda where they're just telling us everything's okay, don't worry. Get ready, you should just go buy a house, go buy a car today. Use your credit cards. Makes no sense whatsoever. This is the sickest economy I've ever seen. The American people physically look sick. This society that we live in is so obese, so overweight, so run down. I mean, and people look angry when you go out. People are short-fused. They're angry. People that work at restaurants, they are angry that they're working for the most part. Not everybody. There's exceptions. When I'm down south, those people are awesome. Out here, wow, it's almost like they hate you for coming in, to the restaurant. The way people drive, the way people talk, just here. I mean, we have so many incidents where the police pull somebody over for running a stop sign, a red light, and people are ready to go to war, ready to lose it all, ready to take human life or have their life taken because they just ran a stop sign and they don't want to deal with the police. They're ready to get into a shootout. Crazy times, crazy times. So anybody that says we're not in spiritual warfare, please wake up, smell the coffee. You're witnessing spiritual warfare right now. It has begun, and it's going to get more intense. So don't be one-dimensional, as I'll leave you on this Saturday afternoon. Be multidimensional, be getting in better mental shape, physical shape, spiritual shape, and financial shape. You need to be multidimensional. One-dimensional is not going to cut it. God gave you a brain. He gave you a soul, a conscious. Listen to it. He gave you free will. He gave you common sense. Listen to it. He's just not going to come here flat out of the clouds and save you. He is warning you right now to get ready for some very, very rough times. I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. All that good stuff. Talk to all of you soon.